Shot to the middle. Back to
Broke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score! Bernardo forwards.
Welcome to the campus of the University of British Columbia, where this evening Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 put their undefeated record on the line against Tulsa Roughnecks FC in this USL matchup early on in the season. Hello, my name is Brendan Batchelor alongside former Canadian international Mark Rogers as we get you set for the opening kickoff here this evening. A nice night out at UBC Thunderbird Stadium and David Sidhu Field, and it should be a good one here today, Mark.
Absolutely perfect conditions for a game, and we have stormtroopers out, so nothing could be better than that. I'm just wondering though, Brendan, were you the first generation Star Wars guy or second? The actual ones, the good ones?
Well, my age makes me a second generation one, but I am a fan of the original generation, of course. May the 4th today, and Whitecaps FC2 celebrating Star Wars Day in style. May the 4th be with you all watching here today as we take a look now at our key players to watch for this match. Let's start out with Ben McKendry from Vancouver Whitecaps FC2, the USL Player of the Week.
So good to see. He had a really good start to the season last year. Second half of the season was hampered by injuries, but boy, has he started the season very well. He was rightfully named USL Player of the Week, coming up with a key goal and one in fantastic fashion, as well as you're about to see right now, to seal the win against Park Rangers. So it'll be good to see the influence that Ben McKendry has. Certainly his confidence will be high.
Meanwhile, for Tulsa Roughnecks FC, the player to watch that we've selected, Sammy Ochoa, former Seattle Sounder.
Yeah, aged practitioner, and he played a big role in the game here last year, which Tulsa won 4-0. I know they'll be hoping for more of the same. He offers a lot as far as a target player is concerned. He's an ex-MLS player and Liga MX player, so he has lots of experience. They'll be relying on that experience today against two very young center backs for the Whitecaps, and they'll rely on him holding the ball up, allowing the Tulsa Roughnecks to join the attack. They'll have to keep their eye on him for sure tonight.
As we take a look at the starting 11, first for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2, and a strong Major League Soccer influence with a number of loans in the starting 11.
Certainly is, and it'll be really interesting to see if that disrupts the flow that they've had to start their season, or if it enhances it. The young Caps side that's averages 20 years and a half of age is doing very well to start the season. You know, 3 wins, 2 draws, and no losses, and 2 postponements has been an excellent start to the season. You'll look at Atakubi especially. He had a game this weekend. Probably didn't go the way he would have wanted it in New York, so I think it's a great opportunity for the young man to get back on his horse, get back onto the pitch, and continue to develop his game.
Eric Hurtado up front appeared in that MLS match against New York City FC as well. Meanwhile, looking at Tulsa Roughnecks and their starting 11, what stands out for you?
Well, as normal, when they come to Vancouver, many of the teams in the USL are a little bit more experienced, a little bit older, and this is no different in Tulsa. They've gotten off to the start they would have liked, with 1 win, 1 draw, and 4 losses, and their only win coming on the first day of the season. But they have players that can hurt you. And we've mentioned Sammy Ochoa, and they have a guy here on the bench, Brady Ballou, a local guy just from down the I-5 near Seattle, that was very influential in the game last season. Watch out for him coming off the bench. But also players like Henry and Belobi in the middle of the park they can play a big role in any success Tulsa hopes to have tonight.
As we await the arrival of the two sides here on the pitch at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium. As mentioned, Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 putting their undefeated record on the line. 3 wins, no losses, 2 draws. Meanwhile, for Tulsa Roughnecks, they won their opening match of the season, but they haven't been able to find 3 points since.
No, they haven't, and they've been really struggling to score goals. So again, it goes back to what we said about Sammy Ochoa. He's not the type of player that's going to get you 15 to 20 goals in a season, but what he can do if he can hold the ball up under pressure is link other players in to supply goals for them. The goals have been few and far between over the last 3 games. I know that Tulsa Roughnecks will feel good about coming to Thunderbird after last season's 4-0 win. So it'll be an interesting, as normal, an interesting contrast in 2 clubs using the USL environment for 2 very different ways and reasons.
As we mentioned, 7 players on loan from the MLS squad today, but 8 Canadians and 7 residency graduates in the lineup for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. So strong Canadian flavor, as you always see with WFC2, as we see the teams being led out onto the park by stormtroopers on both sides. And moments away from getting the match underway.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. It's interesting to see Sam DeVitt wearing the armband tonight. He's had an excellent start to his time as a Whitecap. He's a young man from Holland, and although you don't usually associate the Dutch with excellent center back play, he has definitely come in and provided a rock-steady influence into the young back 4 for the Caps. But more importantly, from the Caps' perspective, is just to see if they can continue in the same vein of form. They've been well organized under Alan Koch, youthful exuberance in the team, and if, despite all the changes to the roster tonight, they'd be hoping that just continues against Tulsa Roughnecks.
DeVitt wearing the armband with Captain Kyle Gregg starting the match tonight on the bench as we step aside for the singing of the national anthems before the opening kickoff.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time we ask you to please rise. Please remove your caps and welcome April Reedy for the singing of the Star Spangled Banner and O Canada.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And with the anthems in the books, moments away from kickoff, Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 will hope the force is strong with them this evening as they look to continue their undefeated ways to start the USL season. If you look at important factors for a Whitecaps club that has a number of different faces in the starting 11 because of the MLS loans, What do you think the key is for this group here tonight?
Well, I think the key is to remain organized, don't get stretched, but when they counterattack, do so with a little bit of confidence. They have a young player named Marco Bustos playing in the number 10 position who loves to play in small spaces. He could almost play in a closet. When he gets facing them, he also has, to his left, he has Brett Levis, who's spent a lot of time playing at the left back position. I know they want to see how he does in that role, but he is a natural attacking player, and he loves to, when he gets the ball at his feet, to run at fullbacks and center halves. But really, just as importantly, is the young man, the young 15-year-old Davis. Unbelievable how well he has done in his at his age to start the USL season. So it'll be interesting to see. He's not put off at all by anybody in a physical manner. For a young 15-year-old, we've seen him here at Thunderbird Stadium bossing much older players physically. So hope to see more of the same from the young man.
Alphonso Davies chosen to the USL Team of the Week, a bench player, not in the starting 11, but for a 15-year-old to be considered among the top players in the league in the past week, that's a big feather in his cap.
Fantastic. And again, they continue to try and get out their young players. They're using the environment in the right way. Much, for any of our English listeners, much akin to what a reserve type environment would be like overseas. And not just giving young players an opportunity, young Canadian players a chance. And they're finding out very quickly that they're able to do the work at the USL level, and they're off to a very good start.
Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 in the white shirts, white shorts, white socks. While it will be Tulsa Roughnecks FC, the navy shirts, navy shorts, navy socks. Tulsa will defend the goal to the broadcast left of camera view, while Whitecaps FC2 will defend the goal to broadcast right. And moments away here from the opening kick. And an important match for this young squad. And as we talked about with the MLS influence, Hurtado up front, Bustos, who has seen some time in Major League Soccer as well. Should be interesting to see how this team can gel.
Absolutely. And one player we haven't mentioned so far is Kian Froese. This is his first opportunity to come down to the USL environment. Despite his age, he'll want to make it a good impression. We see that some of the staff here is from the MLS team. Definitely want to put in a good shift tonight against Tulsa and put a stamp down to try and get into the 18 for the MLS team this weekend in a Cascadia derby against Portland.
The referee for this evening's match is Alain Rouche. The referee's assistants are Chris Wadham and Evan Fryer. The fourth official is Scott Milliket. As it will be Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 getting the match underway momentarily at midfield, as the sun shines here in the evening at David Sidhu Field at UBC Thunderbird Stadium. It will be Hurtado and Bustos getting us underway here. And early on in the match, you have to imagine that Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 would like to dictate the pace of play.
Certainly, being at home, they'll want to dictate the tempo of play, and from their standpoint, the quicker they can keep their possession, the better.
As the ball comes back to Marco Carducci, he'll play it up the far side. Possession conceded, though, and getting quickly up the flank is Gary Chinarazzo. He'll play it into the box, and that's headed away by DeVitt. Roughnecks still with it. Ball played into the middle of the park for Belobi. He'll send to Chinarazzo again. Out wide. Drops off for Anthony Peters. He'll play it ahead. Looking to get on the end of that is Pellegrino. Unable to convert, and Whitecaps will have a chance to move the ball back up the park.
Well, the old adage in England, I already brought that up earlier, is to turn the opponent's defense early. Get them chasing back and facing their own goal as often as you can. No different from the Tulsa Roughnecks standpoint. What often happens if you do that enough times, the opponent's defense starts to sit deeper and creates more space in the midfield.
As Carducci will play it ahead into the attacking half. Davies looking to get under it. Plays it wide. And a good battle there. The youngster Caden Chung able to play it out.
Caden Chung, good position there. That's one of the parts of his game that will naturally come, his strength. You'll notice when he plays with the men that he can't just be easily shrugged off the ball as he was there, but that's one thing that'll come naturally. He's very young still at 17.
As he'll play it back for DeVitt. Whitecaps FC2 looking to advance it up the park. Adekube playing that ahead. Hurtado will flick it on. And an opportunity here. Levi's looking to find Adekube. Instead, the ball goes out, but Whitecaps FC2 will retain possession. Levi's for Adekube. Now it's played out wide to Caden Chung. Chung. A little give and go there. He'll leave it for Keon's Froze. Froze switches play back to Adekube on the near side. Adekube for Levi's. Unable to generate anything there, but another throw in for Vancouver.
Confident possession by Vancouver early. Switching the play very quickly, forcing the Tulsa Roughnecks defensive blocks to shift as well.
The right back, Caden Chung, with a rung forward here. Lays it into the middle of the park. Here's Froze, top of the box on his left foot. And a nice save made by the keeper, Jake Feener, but good attacking play from Vancouver early as they generate the corner.
Fantastic to see Keon's Froze acting almost like a number 8 here. Great release. He's want to try and get more production from that in the Whitecaps period. As he cuts back onto his left foot, he does the right thing. He tries to play it back across goal. Nice save by Feener to start the game.
From the corner kick, found in front, just wide. Good touch there, and another corner kick.
Scrappy clearance there. Fortunate almost he doesn't go back on his own goal.
Bustos again to deliver it in. Played out wide this time. Flicked towards goal by DeVitt, but that goes wide.
Yep, gets up well at the back post. What you're trying to do in that situation is not try and score yourself. If you can't generate enough powers, try and guide it back across goal and hope for any second ball.
That was Cole Seiler on the end of that one, excuse me.
Hey, he started his time with the Caps well as well. And it's great that he has an opportunity. In years gone by, he wouldn't have an opportunity to get this many games.
Offside flag up on the near side. As Whitecaps FC2.
And what I meant by that is when you don't have that second level of play, the USL, for example, it can end up being not rotting so much, but end up just becoming training players. And there's no replication for match play.
DeVitt back to Carducci. We'll play it back out wide to Sim DeVitt. For Ben McKendry, the reigning USL Player of the Week. Now Seiler to Adekube just past the halfway line. Ball goes out of play. Vancouver looking to quickly advance it, but won't be able to do so.
It's a good urgency in the Caps' possession so to start this game.
As Adekube he leads this move forward. Left it for Levi's. He's unable to generate anything, and Ochoa trying to get on the ball at the halfway line, unable. Now a nice ball through. Here's Hurtado out wide. Looking to cut in. They'll send it down for Adekube, but they'll roll. That one went out of play.
Unfortunate by the Caps to start the game. They're getting into some great areas. They're almost gaining the final third at ease. They want to be a little more ruthless once they get into these areas, especially when they're one-on-one against fullbacks. Take them on, get the cross in. Unfortunately, nice run by Sam to start the game as well. He's had a good start as well as most of his teammates.
Getting forward from the left back position. As Davies rises to try and meet that header. Roughnecks looking to play it forward, but Caden Chung able to sniff that out, and now a foul. As Froze falls to the pitch. And we'll have another look at that one here.
Well, my first instinct would say that he got a little slap in the face as he crossed past it. Yeah, A little smack in the face from the Tulsa Roughnecks striker, Sammy Ochoa. Known for some of the darker arts of the game.
The dark side of the force, you might say.
Yes.
Adekube for McKendry, middle of the park. Ahead to Hurtado. He'll play it out wide. Ends up back at the feet of Adekube. Once again to McKendry. Now Caden Chung getting forward. He'll play that in with his right foot. Snatched by the keeper, Feener.
Right idea. Right idea by the young fullback. One thing, though, when he gets in those areas, he's going to want to whip it with a little more velocity so that freezes the goalkeeper on his line. Right intention, though.
Whitecaps defending has dealt with any threat from the Roughnecks thus far.
Yeah, Tulsa struggled to get into their rhythm to start the game.
As Chinarazzo will throw it in. That bounces off DeVitt and out again. Making their way slowly forward are Tulsa Roughnecks FC.
These are the type of moments Tulsa will rely on. Physical strength and set pieces. That's where they can be dangerous. You just look at the bodies compared to the Whitecaps players. Some big men on the pitch, and they'll want to try and get into positions of long throws like we're about to see.
Chinarazzo. Throw that one in, flicked forward offside though. The flag up on the near sideline.
Caps will want to be wary of how many set pieces they give in the final third, in their own third. Just looking at some of the size of the players could be an issue. And the Roughnecks will look to try and capitalize on any set piece opportunity, including long throws, once they get them. Looked like the linesman made a good call on that play.
Carducci advancing it forward. Chung will take it on the near side. Leaves for McKendry again. Nice wide play out to Adekube.
Great ball by McKendry.
Adekube with a bit of time and space to work here. Looks to play it through. Now the ball delivered in, but headed away by Chinarazzo and cleared by Kyle McLeod as he'll run it all the way out to midfield. Loses a battle to the 15-year-old Alfonso Davies, though. Now McKendry looking for Hurtado. That's picked out by Anthony Peters. Ball played ahead. Ochoa couldn't get on the end of that one, but draws the foul.
Yeah, the Caps continue to try and push players forward. Both fullbacks releasing well into the attack. Switching play really efficiently, nice and quickly. A lot like what we just saw from McKendry on his big diagonal ball, forcing the defense to shift very quickly. That's the type of ball that wears down a defense later in the game. However, Tulsa really struggling to get into their flow, and it's they're desperate to try and create a little bit of positivity in their possession at the minute.
Pellegrino will deliver this ball in as some of the bigger bodies on Tulsa Roughnecks find themselves at the top of the box. Carducci able to meet that, and the Caps countering quickly. Hurtado with a nice run up the left flank. He's got Bustos in the middle. Hurtado back into the box. And an opportunity there, but some good defending from Tulsa Roughnecks FC.
Good counterattack as well, though, from the Caps.
Now here's Ochoa. He'll get on the end of this one around DeVitt with his right foot, and he strikes it into the bottom left corner. Right after the opportunity at the other end, it's Sammy Ochoa that gives the Roughnecks a 1-0 lead over Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2.
Well, it just goes to show how things can change in this game. We highlighted Sammy Ochoa to start the game. It's just an old school direct ball in behind. He gets isolated against Sam DeVitt, who overcommits, and he absolutely ruthlessly punishes the Caps there. Low and across goal, no chance for Carducci. And the Tulsa Roughnecks will be thrilled with that because they haven't really gotten going outside of that one chance so far. They'll be absolutely thrilled to get their nose in front in this game.
Yellow card shown to Henry of Tulsa Roughnecks FC.
I missed that. Was he over celebrating?
He must have been.
Well, it's an excellent finish by Sammy Ochoa. Excellent finish. Nice and strong, shrugs off DeVitt. Doesn't even think twice about a low across goal. 1-0 Tulsa.
First time Whitecaps FC2 have conceded here at UBC Thunderbird Stadium, albeit in their second match.
Well, from a Caps perspective, it's about the only moment where they haven't felt good about themselves, and they've been punished ruthlessly for that. But I think it's same again will be the message from Alan Koch from the sideline. Continue to keep the ball moving quickly. Just try and tidy up how you defend those long balls from the back.
Froze in his own half as Whitecaps FC2 look to counter the early strike from Sammy Ochoa. Here's a nice ball ahead. Davies trying to get on the end of that one, unable to bring it down, but Bustos will control. Marco Bustos on his left foot looking for Hurtado in the box. He's able to get a piece of it, but unable to send it on goal past the keeper Jake Feener, who strode forward, and it'll be a goal kick.
The minute he goes that far beyond the near post, technique becomes super hard to try and get it back on goal. You almost notice he's, I don't know whether Eric's trying to just nick it over the goalkeeper and draw some contact, hoping for a penalty there. But in the end, it's a blatant goal kick. Nice little ball from Bustos, good awareness, gets facing their defense.
As Tulsa Roughnecks feeling a little bit more positive here after the goal. Henry will play it out wide. And they'll draw a corner kick there with the battle for the ball right at the byline.
Little skip in their step now. Great little cross-field ball from Henry. Gets in behind of the Whitecaps fullback Sam there, and they concede a corner. And these are the type of moments now. Look at how they load up the box against Carducci. They're going to try and make it really tough for the young goalkeeper and take advantage of the fact that they're a little bit stronger. Imperative now that the Caps don't concede anything off a set piece this early in the game and put them 2 goals down.
Pellegrino to send it in with his right foot. Rising to meet that is Cole Seiler. Cleared again, and Alfonso Davies trying to get away. Good battle there. One of the bigger bodies for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. Ironically, at his young age of 15.
Doesn't look a 15-year-old.
Seiler again able to calmly clear that away, and it's played ahead to midfield for Eric Hurtado. Hurtado sends it out wide. Davies will reach that.
Game's starting to open up a little bit now.
Davies looking for Hurtado. He's able to control. Rather, that was Froze who plays that into the middle of the box. Quick clearance there from Tulsa Roughnecks FC. Now a long left-footed strike and a save by the keeper Feener.
Yeah, it's good effort. Why not? I think from Froze's cross, he'll be a little disappointed that Hurtado couldn't get across the goalkeeper there and gamble a little bit on the cross.
McHenry with the long left-footed strike. Chinnarazzo for Ochoa. Ochoa looking to get around DeVitt again, but DeVitt wins the battle this time and will clear it up the park.
Well, one thing's for sure, DeVitt will know he's been in a game tonight. Sammy Ochoa looks like he's got the bit between his teeth. Right up for this physical battle. And those are the type, DeVitt and Seiler both want to make sure that they're up for that physical contest tonight, because Sammy Ochoa is not going to let them down. He's going to put a battle in.
Whitecaps have bossed the possession game, it feels like. Do find themselves down 1-0 after the goal by Ochoa.
Yeah, for all their possession, they'll want to create a couple more opportunities in the final third, but it's not as though they haven't created anything. They're getting some joy. They're especially getting good success in gaining the final third against Tulsa. But really, possession isn't everything. Leicester City has proven that, and so have Atletico Madrid. It's what you do
Unbelievable
with
story.
it. Yeah.
Leicester City.
Fantastic story. Romance is back in the game.
As the Whitecaps look to find some romance of their own, McKendry taken down and an opportunity for a set piece here just outside the top of the box.
Some more good interplay again from the Whitecaps. What they want to do is do that a little even closer to the 18 and really, really hurt the two center backs for Tulsa. The minute it's happening at the midfield block in front of them. Haven't quite gotten behind that back four of Tulsa too often. But it's early days. It's only 17 minutes in. We'll see if the Caps can generate something from this set piece.
As the Roughnecks set up the wall right at the top of the box, it will be Bustos to play this one in. Delivers it with his left foot over the head of all the attackers and out of play.
Well, the hands on the head sum that set piece up. He's just completely mishit that. But again, Caps will want to put their heads down, continue to do what they're doing. Much of their possession has been very positive. They just want to look to be a little bit more ruthless in front of goal.
Whitecaps FC2 are back at Thunderbird Stadium on Sunday, May 15th against LA Galaxy 2. For team news and ticket information, visit whitecapsfc2.com.
You know, the LA Galaxy will be coming back looking for a bit of retribution after taking a 2-goal lead and giving it away against the Caps down in LA at the StubHub Center.
Goals in the 70th minute from Fatau and the 76th from Kyle Gregg, pulling the Whitecaps level in that match.
Yeah, Kyle Gregg will feel he's a very good pro. I haven't talked to Alan Koch, but if there's one player that could feel aggrieved for not getting a start today, it would be him.
As Hurtado looking to get forward there.
Gregg will understand the situation and the importance of getting Eric Hurtado some more minutes.
Caden Chung for Ben McKendry has to shake off some pressure from Sammy Ochoa. Now Chung again. Splits a couple of defenders looking to make a run to the outside. Lost the ball though.
Well done by Davies. He doesn't go to sleep on that. The minute they lose possession, he's there to bail out his right back. Win back possession for the Caps.
Ball through by Froze as it's played into the box on his right foot. He hit the bar. Marco Bustos with a good strike. Finds only the woodwork as now it's played back in and cleared out to the near side touchline.
Boy, oh boy, it almost looked like it surprised him how much time he had there. Absolutely smashed it off the near post.
As we take a look at it again.
Just absolutely leathered it off the post. It almost looked like he was surprised that he had that much time and space in the 18-yard box. Be a little disappointed that he didn't hit the target there, because with that velocity, it's past the keeper before he can do anything about it. But what a great forward pass in behind of their fullback. And Levi's nice and composed, sets the table for him very well.
Sammy Ochoa with the lone goal of the match if you are just joining us. Brendan Batchelor and Mark Rogers with you.
You have to think the way the possession's going now that it'd be hard for Tulsa just to bunker in with 70 minutes left to play.
As Hurtado sends it ahead, Davies pressuring there.
And if you're going to foul, do it 105 yards from your own goal. He wants to put the fullback Centerazzo under a lot of pressure facing his own goal there. Centerazzo nice and strong though. Defends that situation very well. But again, the Caps are looking a little bit more positive, looking to get in behind of the Tulsa Roughneck back four. Starting to create a little bit of momentum here.
As the youngster Davies, good bit of composure there, but now possession's conceded and Pellegrino strides forward. Davies back to intercept, couldn't hold possession though. Now Ochoa out wide will play it in. Carducci will take that one into the breadbasket.
Yep. Those are the type of moments where Tulsa have looked very good. Just on the odd time, they've managed to get forward quickly.
Now the Whitecaps looking to counterattack quickly. Bustos. Nice run ahead by Adekube. Bustos will play it in, looking for Hurtado, but that's picked out by Peters and cleared.
Oh, when you see Sam make that run forward with Sam's pace, you want to release him very quickly or use that run as a dummy. In the end, he did neither and delivered a cross that he'd probably want back, Marco Busto. It didn't beat the first defender.
As Ochoa sends that ahead for Chinarazzo on his left foot, looking to find a teammate in the middle. Instead, it's cleared by Seiler. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. As the Caps draw a goal kick here.
I have to say, I never thought I'd see the day where we have 29 teams playing what some consider to be second, third tier soccer in North America. It's fantastic momentum. The game's growing in North America. Teams are lining up to try and get in at the MLS level as well. Hopefully this is a birth of something even better down the road with our game over here.
And the growth of domestic talent. Perfect example with a number of Canadians in the lineup for Whitecaps FC2.
Well, if the environment's used properly, like they're doing tonight, for example, then the production of talent and development of talent will be a byproduct of that. And that takes time. You know, every time we watch the national team play, you're hoping, but you're going to have to wait at least another generation to see the real fruits of that. We have a depth of a player base that they can draw upon top players. Still a little ways away from that.
Although very positive to see youngsters like a Caden Chung, who has an international goal against England already.
Yeah, that's not a bad one to have on your resume. What a goal it was, too, in that U20 game. Marco Bustos, the other goal scorer in that game. Weren't playing any slouches as well. Marcus Rashford was playing. Rashford, sorry.
The young Manchester United striker.
Yeah, he's not had a bad start to his Premiership career, has he?
4 goals in his first 2 matches, if I...
Well, the man's United supporter. Are you going to still be a Man United supporter now that they're rubbish? Or
how about Leicester? Let's talk about them.
Yeah. It'd be fun to watch how many Leicester shirts
Suddenly crop up.
in North America, yeah. But it's a fantastic story. I think everybody outside of the Tottenham faithful were cheering him on.
Had it been a North American sports team, they'd already be making the Disney movie, you'd have to think.
Oh, I think it's coming. At least Vardy's story has been talked about as having a documentary on it.
As McKendry striding forward, looking to find a target man in the middle. Now Chung will have a second attempt, and that's punched out quickly by Feener.
It's good to see both Froese and McKendry releasing from that holding midfield position. Almost both acting as a pivot, both acting as almost traditional number 8s. It's good to see, and it's something that the Caps will take an interest in because they have Matthias Laba up at the MLS level. He's not known for scoring his goals, but boy, is he carved out a nice little MLS career and reputation as being a tough tackling holding midfielder at the MLS level.
As we have one of the Roughnecks down here. I believe that's Henry.
Doesn't look happy at the minute. Possibly took a knocked the wind out of him.
As the training staff will attend to him. 26th minute of the match. Only the 1 goal from Sammy Ochoa of Tulsa Roughnecks FC.
A bit of a concern watching one of the Tulsa Roughnecks. I'm trying to see his number. Don't know if it's Peters, the big center back, but getting his legs stretched off, like almost as if he has cramp.
David Abidor.
26 minutes into a game, a bit of a concern there for Tulsa Roughnecks.
Temperature not a concern on a day like today.
Especially for the boys from Tulsa. I'm sure they're more used to the hot temperature down in the south.
As they'll get play back underway here momentarily. I believe it was.
Well, outside of the goal, Caps have really bossed the possession, but the only real stat that matters is it's 1-0 for Tulsa. But notice Tulsa used that break to get some water on board, try and recharge their batteries and go again. They won't want to concede. They want to get in at halftime at least with their nose in front, 1-0. Won't want to concede and give momentum back to the Whitecaps.
As Eric Hurtado strides forward, able to control that nicely.
Fantastic ball by Keon's Froze.
Flicked ahead once again by Froze. Couldn't get it through though, and now advantage played there on a handball.
Yeah.
The referee will bring it back.
Ref rightly brings it back. Was looking for an advantage. Well refed in that situation. I don't say that very often, by the way, but good job by the referee. He's rightfully brought that back. It was a handball. Waiting for it to see if there was any advantage for Tulsa.
Pellegrino again. Play it forward. And flicked on. I think it touched the head of DeVitt at the top of the box, right through to Carducci.
Always a little bit of a worrisome moment when you're flicking a ball on towards your own goal. You're hoping it doesn't have enough purchase on it to go past your own goalkeeper. But in the end, it was comfortable for Marco Carducci.
Adekube ahead for Hurtado all the way back at the halfway line.
Can be an indicator at times when a striker starts to get a little bit frustrated with his service. Then start dropping into deeper positions where Hurtado can hurt the opponent, is what we saw just a couple of minutes ago. He's pacey, he can get in behind the back four, he can cause problems.
As Bustos called for a handball, I believe, right at the top of the box. He very nearly drew the match level, rattling one off the bar.
Yeah. Be a little disappointed with that one, frankly. It was a great opportunity to level the score at 1.
Nearing the half-hour mark. As Seiler loses his footing there.
You see again, when Tulsa plays the ball forward in a direct fashion, they got the guys that can win that first ball. And if they can get bodies around to win the second, now you're in possession at the edge of the 18-yard box of the Whitecaps and cause problems. Caps will have to be wary of that because it's a physical side. At the minute, that's where they're getting their success. Pellegrino looks like he has some very good service on him, the Australian.
As Adekube rises to meet that throw. Cleared, but Chinarazzo gets it again, out wide. Challenged by the youngster Davies, who forces it out of play. It will be a throw-in for Tulsa Roughnecks, or excuse me, a corner kick for Tulsa Roughnecks FC, though.
And they'll be happy with that. They'll look again to load up the area around Marco Carducci. See if they can put pressure on the kid.
Pellegrino again.
Is that David Abador standing on Carducci again? Just trying to cause a little bit of havoc in there.
Will force the referee Alain Rouge to come in and have a word or two.
DeVitt just kindly saying, get away from my goalkeeper.
The game within the game.
Yeah.
Pellegrino, and a foul there at the exact area that we were discussing, and the Whitecaps will draw the free kick and try to bring it forward quickly. They'll have to do it again.
Well, it's funny, sometimes if you can draw the attention of the ref to that, you're almost getting a free set piece. I don't think Abador did anything differently for the foul that he was doing initially on Carducci, but DeVitt kicked up enough of a fuss to draw the attention of the referee and got himself a freebie.
Froze. For Cole Seiler, now Sam DeVitt. Plays it forward. Davies and Hurtado. A little bit of miscommunication there as they collided, but McKendry's got the opportunity to play it in with his right foot. Looking to meet it on the far side was Levi's. Couldn't send it towards the goal, and it's cleared quickly. DeVitt will try to play it forward again, but unable to generate anything, although he forces a turnover on the near side. Positive play there.
It was. And the initial attack, very good forward pass by DeVitt. Back post, you're asking Levi's to be a little more brave there at the back post. Felt he could have headed that back across goal. In the end, it comes off his shoulder. Rose well initially, but seemed to pull out of the header at the last second.
Froze making his way forward. Looking to cut in. Leaves it for Bustos. Now out wide to Adekube. Dangerous here. Adekube's cross blocked, but he's able to hold on to possession and then concedes it in the middle of the park to Kyle McLeod.
A little bit sloppy play there from Sam. Delivery for the cross was completely mishit and then gives away possession. I want to shrug that off quickly. But I really like the work that Froze and McKendry are doing from the holding midfield role. They're acting as a pivot, one releasing, and every time they get forward, almost exclusively, one is getting in there at the 18-yard box. It's almost a run that you'd associate with a player like from years gone by, like a Frank Lampard.
Now here's an opportunity for Levi's to get forward, striding confidently into the box. Now for Bustos on his left foot. He'll look skywards as he got a little bit too much underneath that one.
Yeah, just got underneath it. He lifted his head a little bit too early, leaned back.
Early substitution here for Tulsa Roughnecks FC. We'll see Belobi make way for Brady Ballou.
Well, we noticed that he was struggling a little bit. He was getting his calf stretched or his hamstring stretched during the last little break in play. And Brady Ballou, who, by the way, had an absolutely excellent game here last summer against the Caps, caused them all sorts of problems, joins the game. And one thing he's very good at is when he gets the ball, almost like we've associated with Levi's, when he gets the ball at his feet, he loves running at fullbacks. So it'll be interesting to watch where he starts. It looks like he's going to start out on the right-hand side, straight swap, play up against Sam Adekube. It'll be an interesting battle to keep our eye on.
These two teams split the two matches they played last year. The away side winning both. Tulsa Roughnecks, a 4-0 victory over Whitecaps FC2 here in Vancouver.
Yeah, likely, having talked to Alan Koch, likely the game that they would looked at from last summer said that was probably our poorest performance. Seemed to recall Diego Rodriguez getting an opportunity down from the MLS squad, having a bit of a difficult time.
As a good opportunity here for the Roughnecks. Pellegrino will play that into the middle, and Seiler will safely clear it with his head.
More good service from Pellegrino. He looks dangerous every time he gets facing goal. Not so much beating players, but boy, he puts in some dangerous balls, and that was one of them. If that gets past Seiler, Carducci will have a lot to do to keep that out of his own net. Another set piece opportunity for Tulsa.
Pellegrino again. Ooh. Dangerous there, but no one able to direct that goalwards.
Matt Watley had a free header at the edge of the 6-yard box there.
Now Adekube trying to clear, had a bit of trouble with that. Ochoa on his right foot sends it wide of the far post, and an opportunity to tap that in for Ballou, who got forward as well. Luckily for Vancouver, they missed the net.
Well, although Tulsa hasn't, their opportunities in the final third have been few and far between. Great ball here for Hurtado, by the way.
As he strides forward, we'll leave it for Levi's. Levi's with a good run, trying to play it into the middle. Blocked by Watley. Danger averted for the moment. Adekube. Ahead for Levi's again. Gives it back to him. Adekube on his left foot looking to play it into the middle. And draws the corner kick.
Well, I tell you what, Tulsa, every time they've gotten into good areas, have looked dangerous.
Quickly taken free kick as now it comes to Seiler in the box, back into the middle on his right foot. Bustos, that was blocked. Then DeVitt will send it right on target, and Fiener able to hold that one. Great opportunities for the Caps there.
Well, just on the replay we just saw was what Tulsa has done very well. They haven't gained the final third of the Whitecaps very often, but when they have, they've looked dangerous. A miscue from Sam Adekubi at the back post on a defensive header. Misheads it. They almost get punished for that. But the Caps come right back down the other end. And they get in a couple really good areas, and they get both crosses get blocked. Not quite able to take advantage of that set piece either, but there are lots of moments for the Caps where they'll be pleased. It's just the final ball.
Become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive news and interactive content. The opportunities there for Vancouver, but now Tulsa looking to counter. Ochoa controlling in the middle of the park. Leaves it for Martinez.
You see when Tulsa release, look how many bodies they have forward now.
Chinarazzo for Pellegrino on his right foot. As Ballou is ahead there, looking to get on the end of that one, unable to do so, and now Vancouver with an opportunity to counterattack.
Caps will have to be watching Pellegrino. Every time he gets turned, he looks to play a little diagonal ball over the further center half or fullback. And they're getting lots of success on that. Definitely a danger man for Tulsa so far in this game.
As DeVitt able to find possession there, but then loses it to Pellegrino. McKendry will play it back to the keeper. He's clattered into there by Pellegrino, and we'll have a foul here. Not sure which way it's going to go, as Pellegrino is the man lying on the floor.
Yeah, referee rightly stops it as Pellegrino. Looks like Pellegrino got a knock to his head, in which case the referee has full license to stop the play. To have a little look and see if we can see what really happened there. He just looked like he was taken off. It looked like a collision.
McKendry was running the opposite way.
Yeah, it just looked like two bodies coming together. Nothing malicious in it. But in the end, the Tulsa attacking player comes off worse for wear.
He'll shake that off, though, as Pellegrino has been an important part of this match to this point.
Certainly has.
Maybe even an understatement to say that.
Yeah, it seems to go where he needs to go to get on the ball and get facing the Whitecaps defense. And when he does, he has quality in his distribution, in his service.
Takes all their set pieces. As now Froze will play that forward, looking for Adekube, but that's picked out by Abidor. Keons Froze for Sem DeVitt. DeVitt playing it ahead. Possession conceded to McLeod, though. Kyle McLeod played it out wide for Anthony Peters. Off the Whitecap, Brett Levi is an out of play.
Yeah, a little bit of sloppy distribution out of the back. But largely that's been a positive for the Caps so far. Moved the ball fairly well. Gone into some good areas, just haven't been ruthless in their final pass. Been able to take advantage of some good possession.
Cleared by Seiler high in the air. Headed on by Peters. Flicked ahead by McLeod as well. And Seiler gets it again at his feet for Sem DeVitt. Hurtado couldn't come away with that one, but Bustos is able to control.
Still Hurtado nice and strong there. He knows the contact's coming. Make sure the center back doesn't win it cleanly. Give the opportunity for Tulsa to counterattack back on them.
Now Seiler plays it ahead for Adekube. Great run. He's into the area. Played it over the head of Hurtado. And out to collect it is the goaltender, Jake Fiener.
I tell you, we've seen some beautiful long raking balls from both sides tonight.
Great run by Adekube as well.
Fantastic run from Sam. Good ball from Seiler. The only problem when you play those long passes is often there's not many bodies in support, and Sam had really one target to hit, and that was Hurtado, who did a good job of joining in on the attack. but he was well looked after by the Tulsa defense.
Now McLeod, pressured by a couple of the Caps, lost the ball, and Adekube can stride forward. Out for Levi's. He's got Hurtado and Bustos with him. Davies following up too. Here's Levi's. Big collision at the top of the box. Referee waves play on.
Oh, that's an excellent tackle. Excellent tackle.
Now
Matt
Pellegrino.
Watley, fantastic timing on his challenge there.
Clearance by Watley.
Really good from Sam, though, to start that attack again. Very good composure to eliminate the first defender just by moving with the ball at his feet.
Now here's Keon's froze. An opportunity to try and get forward. Out wide for Caden Chung. Chung looks to deliver it in with his right foot. Cleared by Peters, high in the air, found by McLeod, and he'll head it away. DeVitt in a bit of a scrappy battle there with Ochoa. Now it's McKendry that comes away with it. McKendry looking to play it through for Bustos, but that's picked off. Now Kyle McLeod quickly back the other way. Levi's hot on his heels. Sent it ahead for Ballou. Unable to control that at his feet, though.
Good battle again from DeVitt and Ochoa. Another long diagonal ball by the Whitecaps.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. The closing moments of the first half here. Sammy Ochoa, the lone goal for Tulsa Roughnecks FC. Whitecaps looking to draw level here. Caden Chung lays it off for Ben McKendry. Again for Chung. Trying to beat the defender Chinarazzo. Lost possession, and in the end, Tulsa Roughnecks will get the throw in.
You can see the intent by Chung. Desperate to get past Chinarazzo and get a cross in, but really didn't trouble him there. Chinarazzo showing his experience, nice and strong, gets his shoulder across Chung, and after that it's a non-contest from a strength perspective.
McLeod knocked down as he played that forward. Foul here. Will draw the free kick for Tulsa.
You see Tulsa just slowing it down now, just trying to see out the half.
As we have entered the 45th minute. At UBC's Thunderbird Stadium, DeVitt will see that out for the goal kick.
Be interesting to see how much injury time there is at the first half. We had one substitution, so you expect it to be 1 or 2 minutes.
A goal as well.
And an injury, yeah.
It will be 3 added minutes, in fact.
I was wrong. 3 added minutes. Caps will see if they can take advantage of that time. Oh.
Foul. Levi's on the near side. And that will draw the free kick there, and an opportunity for Tulsa Roughnecks FC yet again. As we take another look at the foul.
Well, you can see the ref didn't make that decision. His linesman has. I tell you, that's soft. Levi's just nice and strong. He's not throwing his arm out at Ballou. It's just shoulder-to-shoulder contact, and Ballou goes down and draws the foul. Linesman's right there. He can see it. Again, another good opportunity for Tulsa to get across into the box.
Pellegrino will deliver it in, and that one just goes wide of the bar. I think it was Watley who got his head on that one.
That's the second one. Watley's had free header top of the 6-yard box twice now, and he's completely misjudged both of them. Caps get away with another one there on a set piece. Pellegrino puts in a beautiful ball, by the way. But I tell you what, he's from Wales, and they do plenty of heading of the ball in the Welsh League, let me tell you. He'll be disappointed that he hasn't punished the Caps for that. They put themselves 2-0 up right on the stroke of halftime, and then it's tough sledding for the Caps. Caps have got away with a couple so far, Brendan, on corners and set pieces especially. They want to minimize those opportunities for Tulsa. That's where they've looked really dangerous outside of their goal. look like they can punish the Caps on those.
As Vancouver will look to try and snatch a goal here in the late going. Pellegrino in the middle of the park for McLeod, though, and it's Tulsa back the other way. McLeod striding forward, taken down by Froese, who reached out there, and that'll be good enough for a yellow card.
Yeah, that's a professional foul. Gans knows exactly what he's doing in that situation. And he just simply reaches out and tugs the lad down. And it's about as easy a yellow card decision as you'll find in a game. Ref rightly shows him the yellow card there. Be no debate, really. Some would argue that's a wise foul to take at this stage. The last thing the Caps need is to give away a late 2-goal lead for the first half. Changes everything from Koch's perspective, Alan Koch's perspective when his team talk at halftime.
As Pellegrino plays it forward. Ochoa on the end of that one. Flag was up on the far side, though. Or the near side, rather. Carducci will boot it ahead. Bustos settles it down. Not sure how much time the Caps will have here as Adekube brings it forward. Bustos striding into the box. Hurtado's there as well. McKendry running to catch up, has it at his feet, keeps it in play, but out to get it is Jake Feener confidently, although a little bit sloppy there as well.
I tell you what, Ben McKendry does an excellent job of not giving up on that cross. Jake Feener gets caught half in no man's land there, and fortunate for him, the volley by McKendry comes right off his chest and nothing results.
As that will bring an end to the first half of this evening's match. Sammy Ochoa with the lone goal in the first 45 minutes. The best opportunity for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 off the foot of Marco Bustos, who rattled the woodwork. And as the teams head back to the dressing rooms, the score, Tulsa Roughnecks FC 1, Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2, 0.
Take advantage of our Soccer Express Kids Zone. Features face painting by a Jedi Master, fluid artist from Tatooine, and a chance to play soccer. And then just upstairs inside the main entrance, you'll also find food and beverage concessions. Young Jedi, we'd be honored if you'd join us on Sunday, May 15th here at Thunderbird Stadium at 2 p.m. as WFC2 Battle.
Ha! Star Wars characters. Now, wait a minute. This guy's from South Carolina. His name is Cole Sailor, Mr. Cold Blood.
Movie?
Yeah. You know Star Wars?
No, I know.
Yoda, because he has all the wisdom.
Who would you be?
I would be Chewbacca,
Wow. Chewbacca, why?
because I love his call.
You love his Do it again?
You never heard of Star
No,
Wars?
No, Star Wars, no. Movies?
I don't know much about Star Wars, first off.
Here we go again.
Look at me, man. I'll go for who you think. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Luke Skywalker?
Not amusing.
I know the film, that's Star Wars, but I don't know the
character.
Yeah, the character.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think I'd want to be Luke Skywalker. That's a character, right? That's in Star Wars?
Come on, man.
I have no idea.
The Vader. Because I'm already dark.
Isn't he a Jedi? So you gotta be a Jedi, right?
Han Solo, because he just gets to do whatever he wants.
I think I would be Darth Vader
Yes.
if I was a Star Wars character because I bring the dark side.
Yes.
So that's me.
Yeah, you gotta be a Jedi, so I'd choose Luke Skywalker to answer your question.
I think I would be Master Yoda.
Yoda?
You know, because I think he's got, you know, a lot of power, and you know, he's trained for a little past person. I think you know, it's incredible. You know, I want to have his powers.
I think I would be one of the characters from the new movie that they just came out with. What's the round guy's name? The one that rolls around. BB-8, I think? Yeah, it'd probably be BB-8. I think he's pretty cute, and it seems like he rolls around and just has a good time and is friends with everybody. So probably be BB-8.
It's Darth Vader and Chewbacca. You know what we will do? We'll eat you alive. Grrr. The Force be with you.
Jacobson. Fancy footwork, and Jacobson forces Roll to pull off a really nice save.
Newest Whitecap Andrew Jacobson is a box-to-box midfielder, and right now would love some personal boxes to set up home in Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. We got our apartment, and we have no stuff. It's on its way from New York, but until it gets there, we're in the hotel, and we've been there for a while.
Yeah, I feel like I've just been doing it so long. As long as you go in with a good attitude, it can be your best friend or your worst friend, and it's really just, what you make it.
Jacobson has made the most of his experiences and is now going coast to coast, from New York FC to the Caps, millionaire teammates with a global following, to the concept of fiscally responsible footballers.
Everywhere we went, as soon as we got off the plane or on the bus to the hotels tended to be packed with people just looking for those 3 people. Those were the most professional players I've ever played with, those 3. Their ability to kind of relax under pressure, and especially when they make a mistake and they want the ball right away. So I think I learned a lot.
Jacobson is the perfect piece to a Major League Soccer roster. Brings veteran experience and comes at a comfortable salary. For him, the Whitecaps met his family's geographical needs.
It was nice. I mean, just to be back, somewhat close to family and just kind of back on the West Coast, if you will. And, it works for us.
With 9-month-old Henry ready to explore his new home, Jacobson has already shown his value to his new team.
It's easy with this team. Every team's a bit different, but it's a very welcoming team, from the coaches to the ownership to the players. So it really hasn't been difficult.
He'll be that much more comfortable when his furniture arrives in his 5th MLS home. Perry Selkowski, TSN.
When your legs don't walk like they used to before.
Yes, Sam Smith.
Ed Sheeran.
And I can't sweep you off of your feet.
Thinking out loud, obviously. Ed Sheeran.
Will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? Darling,
I can't hit that. I can't hit that note.
loving you till we're 17.
Cold,
You gotta feel it, Ian. You gotta feel it.
And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23.
I can't hit that note.
I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand. Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day. And I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now
Thinking out loud.
Damn.
Guys.
take me into your loving arms.
Thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Thinking about you.
This was gonna be our first dance song, but we didn't go with it because everybody was playing it, so we went with something else.
Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud. Maybe we found love right where we are. We found love right where we are.
It's called Thinking Out Loud.
I know this.
Hey Whitecaps fans, this is Jordan Harvey here, defender for your Whitecaps. Another episode of Roommates on the Road. Let's get it going. Masato Kudo and Fraser Aird, let's see how they are gelling as roommates. How we doing? You guys have any time for Whitecaps Roommates on the Road? You do? Is Masato in? Ohio. So Roommates on the Road, you guys, recent signings to the Whitecaps. How has the roommates been so far?
Touching up a little bit on my Japanese, to be honest. Kudo's teaching me little bits by bit, but no, it's been good. Trying to get to know each other as much as we can.
Kudo, give us the juice.
No. He's very kind.
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, who holds the controller at night and who watches the TV and gets to dictate what's on the television? So Masato, what do you like to do on a daily basis? In the room, just hang out?
Every time rest.
Rest? Talk to family?
My wife talking.
Yeah?
He thinks I snore too loud. Him. What? Snore too much, you think, Kudoe?
He snores?
Yeah, I think that.
Next time around, are you gonna ask for a new roommate because he snores?
Snoring.
Yeah, no good. No good. Whitecaps FC, Jordan Harvey, roommates on the road with Fraser Masato. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.
Back here at UBC Thunderbird Stadium, where it is Tulsa Roughnecks FC with a 1-0 lead over Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2 at halftime. As we look at the halftime statistics, 7 shots, 3 on target for Whitecaps FC 2. Only the 2 on target for Tulsa Roughnecks, but of course the 1 found the back of the net.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. 2 very different approaches. Tulsa's been very dangerous on their set piece opportunities, and of course, on a very long and hopeful ball, Sammy Ochoa punished the Caps very well. Very impressive run. Got on behind Cole Seiler. The minute he gets in behind, he doesn't get in a foot race with DeWitt. He goes and gets his shoulder across him, and he's just outstrengths him in that situation.
As we'll have a look at it again, the highlights from the first half. And the opportunity here early for Keon's Froze.
Yeah, unlucky. Doesn't quite hit it cleanly, but he gets it back across goal and draws a decent save from Jake Feener.
As the Whitecaps had the majority of the early possession. Bit of a physical first half as well.
Yep. Well, I mean, from a Tulsa perspective, you want to make it as physical a battle as you can against a young team.
As we get a look at the goal once again, Ochoa getting in behind DeWitt.
He gets in behind Seiler first, and then he gets across DeWitt. DeWitt gets caught on the wrong side of him. He wants to be shoulder side of Ochoa. The minute he gets caught there, he's asking a guy like Ochoa, who's very strong, to get shrugged off the ball, which he won't. Excellent finish by Ochoa.
As the opportunity there for Bustos again, off the right post with his right foot.
Yeah, just falls onto his least favorite foot. That possibly played a role in that finish.
Another dangerous opportunity for Baloo at the post.
And it comes off the foot of Pellegrino, who's been very dangerous on his service first half. Caps will want to take note of that.
As Baloo, who came on midway through that first half, was a factor of the match. Big collision there. We talked about the good tackle at the time. But overall, a pretty entertaining first half for the fans here in attendance on Star Wars night.
As I was saying before the highlights, Brendan, that it's a contrast in styles. Tulsa wants to use their physical advantage to their advantage, and they've cashed in on their one opportunity, really. But they have had a couple opportunities off set pieces, too, and the Caps will want to be aware of that. They want to give away too many easy corners or long throw-ins. Pellegrino's service has been excellent so far in the game. And you've seen a couple gilt-edge chances by, maybe that's why he's playing fullback, Matt Watley. 2 free headers, middle of the goal that he'll want back. But on the other end of the pitch, I think the Caps have played very well. They just need to be a little bit more clinical and ruthless in the final third. On their last ball, or if they do get an opportunity, they'll want to put it away because they've had lots of good possession. They've moved the ball around quickly. And they could be very pleased with some of their approach in the first half. A little bit unfortunate to be 1 goal behind. They did carry most of the play in the first half. So the Caps will be positive coming into the second half. Tulsa will be happy to be 1-0 in front, but surely can't be as happy giving up that much possession and opportunities to the Whitecaps. So look for Tulsa to try and tighten things up in the middle of the park.
Be interesting to see if we see any changes for Whitecaps FC2 here to begin the second half, as the two sides make their way back out onto the field. And offensively, they have had some opportunities, but maybe need to bear down a little bit more.
I think that's one of the only negatives they can look at. They've gotten into the final third very easily. They've gotten into excellent positions, but they've just lacked that final ball that can unlock the Tulsa defense. That final pass. And then when they get in those areas, like the Bustos chance, you really got to punish them, especially against a more experienced team.
Does it immediately look like we'll see any changes from the two sides to begin the second half? Just the one substitution in the first 45 minutes is Belobi. Came out of the match for Brady Ballou, as Alan Koch will look for a more concerted attacking effort from his club here in the second half. What do you think he will have likely said to his side in his halftime talk?
Just when you get into those attacking areas, be confident in yourself. You're good players. If you see an opportunity, take it. Don't hesitate. Put your head down. If you have an opportunity to shoot, put your head down and score. If you see that final pass, don't hesitate. Play it. Just become a little more instinctual. Often, if you overthink in those areas of the pitch, that's when chances go begging. But he doesn't look put off. He's having a granola bar or something down there. He looks pretty chilled out. I'm sure he's pleased with most of what he saw first half. Looks like everybody's having a snack down there.
As Whitecaps FC2 will look to avoid their first defeat of the USL season.
Oh, you're just looking at Alan Koch having a quick chat with Daniel Haber, and Daniel right away sits down, starts to take his bottoms off, getting ready to go warm up. That might be an indicator.
Haber, of course, was named to the USL Team of the Week back in week 2.
Yes, he's had a good start as well, the Canadian, to his time in Vancouver with the USL side.
Seiler with a bit of difficulty clearing that.
Gets away with one there. Samuel Cho was lurking on the second ball. Just spun away from him at the last second.
And now an opportunity here. Bustos ahead for Hurtado. Out wide for Davies. He's got space as he'll stride forward. Davies onto his left foot, looking for Hurtado, but that's picked out.
Those are the moments where Davies is one-on-one, the edge of their 18-yard box. Take him on and get a chance on goal. The worst case scenario is the fullback wins that battle, wins the tackle. Don't hesitate. Get at the fullback, take him on, and try and create an opportunity for yourself. It's about as critical as I can be of a 15-year-old playing at this level.
As Adekube will try to meet that one and does play it into the middle. They'll rule that it went out, though, and that'll be a goal kick as the sun begins to set a little bit here over David Sidhu Field at UBC Thunderbird Stadium.
Playing havoc with you, but you've got those fancy Ray-Bans on. You should be all right. But even there, Sam sets off a little too late. He's waiting for the pass. His run has to come before the pass. If he does, he likely would have been in on goal there.
As McLeod looks to play that ahead. Lost possession. And it's out of the near touchline. Abidor to put it back in play. Throw in one again by Tulsa. As Ballou will leave that for Abidor. Now ball played in by the right foot of Matt Watley. Didn't find the intended target, and Eric Hurtado is back in his own half to control the ball. Hurtado ahead for Davies. Froze making a run forward. Davies loses possession. Chung trying to regain it, but couldn't come away with it.
Another example.
And that's something that will come with experience for a young 15-year-old.
It's incredible to think that he's 15 years old. Those are moments, though, he's gotten a couple opportunities to get at center backs and full backs. Both chances he hesitated a bit. In that case, he turned backwards, which is exactly what the fullback wants him to do there. Gives him to turn back.
As the throw-in will go the way of the Whitecaps, and not exactly to the liking of David Irving, the head coach of Tulsa Roughnecks FC.
Well, they'll be scrapping and fighting for every decision now in the second half. It's been a while since their last victory. Sort of stuttered over the last few weeks, the Tulsa Roughnecks.
As Bellew lost the ball, a nice tackle by Seiler that'll start the Caps back on the offensive.
No margin for error in that slide tackle. Executes it perfectly.
Here's Davies again, out wide for Chung. He'll knock that past Chinarazzo and have to battle with it, with him for it, rather. Once again, it's Chung getting the ball for McKendry. He'll play it through on his right foot. Hurtado looking to run onto it. That'll go wide of the right post, and a thumbs up there from Hurtado for the service.
Absolutely brilliant ball from Caden Chung. We brought up in the first half about him getting a little more velocity on his service. It's exactly what he does well there. He whips it in behind the back four, right at the top of the 8 for a 6-yard box, and in the end wins a deserved corner.
Sent into the box out of Kube, coming around the far side, but Feener got up and grabbed that one.
Bit disappointing service off that corner. One place you don't want to put it is in the goalkeeper's hands. Against a good goalkeeper, they'll set off on the counterattack. Can be very vulnerable on corners 4 against a counterattacking team. In this case, Tulsa got their nose in front 1-0. And Jake Feener elects to slow it down after claiming that cross.
Follow at USL on Twitter to keep up with all of the live action during the 2016 USL season. Once again, that's at USL on Twitter. Caps coming forward again, out of Kube.
Not sure how Levi's managed to retain possession there. He's done very well after slipping.
Chung again. The chance to send that one in. Not the same as the service he provided moments ago, and that'll go out for a goal kick.
Nope, he'll be disappointed with that service. He's got acres of space to whip in a decent ball. Don't know. It's hard to blame a turf pitch for a bobble, but it looked like it took a little bit of a bounce. Caused him to get his foot underneath it.
Touched on it a little bit, but this is a Whitecaps FC2 side that would have expected to have played 7 matches by this point in the season. Instead, only 5, as a couple of postponements have caused a little bit of a slower start to their year, which of course could mean a heavier schedule down the road.
Yeah, absolutely crazy in a summer season like they have over here in North America. You'd have 2 postponements for weather, one snow and on a stopover in Colorado, and the other thunderstorms.
As Pellegrino tries with his right foot, Adekube able to get in front of that one.
Tell you what, Pellegrino continues to cause problems for the Caps. He's a clever player. When he gets on the ball facing them, really caused problems with his distribution, but now he's getting facing them, now looking to get at players with the ball at his feet. As mentioned, this is where they can hurt the Caps. Set pieces look very dangerous.
Another opportunity for Pellegrino. Into the middle. Cleared away by the head of Adekube, and Froze can play it up the flank. Not going to be able to get to it, or he will indeed. Keeps it in. Here's
ball.
Hurtado. He's got Bustos out wide. Unable to get it through and has to lay it off for Froze again in the middle of the park.
Maybe disappointing. Just needed to have a little peek over his shoulder.
Now Levi's for Adekube to deliver it with his left foot. Watley sliding to snuff out the danger there.
But again, they keep getting into very good areas, but they're not clinical or ruthless enough once they get there. Again, Sam doesn't beat the first defender on his cross, but earlier Eric Hurtado just needs to have a little look over his shoulder and play a reverse pass. and his
And
teammates
Bustos
in
would
and
have been
goal.
in home free. Now McKendry, a bouncer into the box.
I think they can be pleased with every other aspect of their game. Outside of one poorly defended forward pass by Tulsa, they've defended fairly well.
Just need to be more clinical when the vital moment arrives. There's been McKendry.
Some of their possession in the middle of the park especially has been very good. Of course, the commentator's curse happens to me right away.
As Henry will control for Roughnecks FC to Chinarazzo, who's bothered by the youngster Davies, and will clear it into Vancouver's half.
Good pressure by Davies. Want to speed things up here for Whitecaps, Will.
Froze will play it out wide at Akube. A little bit of trouble with that one. He will win the throw in though, or no he won't, as they'll say touched it. Looked like it did to me.
Well, he took his eye off it, Sam, there. He expected it, if he's expecting it to beat the fullback on another nice crossfield ball, by the way. Some beauties tonight. Then he has to just be more brave and bring the ball down and get at the space in behind. But in the end, backs out of it. Ooh, nice bit of skill.
As Ballou will stride forward as a result, looking to take on the Caps defense. Couldn't get through though, and we'll have a throw in on the near side, but very dangerous from Ballou.
Yeah, he has that in his locker. I alluded to last season's performance. Once he gets at players with the ball at his feet, he can be dangerous. Nice little nutmeg. I don't know if my son's watching, he'll have taken note of that. He's a 6-year-old that absolutely loves nutmegs. Bit of a weird thing, actually.
As Marco Bustos brings it ahead again. Looking for Hurtado. It falls to Davies. Now out wide to Adekube. Adekube with the service. It falls to McKendry. He'll have a go from distance. Scored from about that range last week, but doesn't have the same such luck this time around as Ochoa is coming forward again. Out to get it is Carducci, and he'll snatch it from his feet.
Excellent goalkeeping by Carducci. Nice starting position. He judges that ball perfectly and claims it right at the edge of his 18. The danger there is, does he go out of the 18, give away a free kick? He doesn't. Does excellent there.
Once again, Ochoa proving dangerous.
He's got a lot of experience in those old legs.
Now Chung again for Bustos. Back to Chung, to the youngster Davies. He draws the foul. And a bit of a good opportunity here for Whitecaps FC2.
Another great opportunity. They've gotten another set piece around the opponent's 18-yard box. The onus now is to provide a little bit of quality.
As it is the youngster Davies who draws the foul.
And this time Davies looked, well, another little bit, frankly, a little bit of a softie again, but sort of leveled out.
Whitecaps,
on Ballou,
Whitecaps won't complain.
It's tough to tell from that angle if he gets a kick in the back of his legs.
It will be Bustos. Likely on his left foot here. As he'll curl it in. Seiler was looking to rise for that.
Excellent ball. Excellent ball by Bustos. Dangerous.
Now, Adekube again. Bouncing around to the middle. Davies looking to hit it with his left foot. Pokes it forward. Here's Froze. He'll just miss wide. Inches away from leveling the score, and that's very positive from Vancouver.
My first instinct was that little bit too tippy-tappy in there. As you can see, don't really get a shot away, but they draw the corner.
Now here's McKendry. Ahead for Bustos. Out to get it is Feener, but two of the better positive attacking plays of the match for Vancouver in the last 30 seconds or so.
You know, in those type of areas, instead of playing little passes, very rarely do those come off for you. Just put your head down. Anything past that first defender is a goal, because the goalie can't do anything about it. It's past him before he can react. Just trying to be a little too cute in that area. You know, even a toe punt, anything on goal usually results in a goal when there's that many bodies in the way of the goalkeeper.
as it did come awfully close to sneaking in the right post.
Certainly did.
Sam DeVitt. Long ball forward. It will fall to Bustos. Now for Keon's Froze. DeVitt out wide for Adekube. Sam Adekube striding forward for Brett Levi's. Levi's finds some space in the middle of the park. To Chung. Caden Chung. Lucky to play it through for Hurtado, who, to his credit, scrappy play there, unable to keep the ball though.
Good strength from the Tulsa Roughnecks center back though. Nice and strong. Denies that ball into Hurtado's feet.
Now Froze sees Adekube's run. Just over his head. Foul called there, as we will see the arrival of Daniel Haber. He'll come into the match in place of the youngster Alfonso Davies.
As expected. We noticed he got the nod at halftime. Make sure you're ready, kid. And he comes on for Davies, and another steady performance by the kid. He's got so many years before he even needs to worry about first team experience at the MLS level, but boy, does he show some promise.
Haber's 6th appearance of the season, the only match he hasn't started. He's got 2 goals to his name already. As I mentioned earlier, USL Team of the Week back in week 2. Adekube under a little bit of pressure, able to clear the danger. Now booted forward with the right foot by Carlos Martinez. Carducci with it. For DeVitt. McKendry gets it from Chung. Ahead for Froze. Now to Bustos. Bustos playing through Hurtado. Could have been in clean there had it not been picked out by the big center back Anthony Peters. And now Ballou trying to break back the other way. Abidor concedes possession to Brett Levi's, who loses his footing. Ochoa will go down as well. Play continues. Referee waves them on. And Froze will sprint through the middle of the park. Played it behind Hurtado. And now Chinarazzo will accelerate the other way. Quick back and forth play through midfield. Pellegrino. Didn't see anything he liked in front of him, so played it back. Now cleared down the sideline by Watley, and Adekube will take possession. Marco Bustos give and go with Hurtado, and he'll play it forward. Here's Adekube. Ball's over his head. He's onside though. Levi's striding into the middle of the box as that cross is cleared.
Well, excellent releasing ball by Bustos. Sam makes a nice early run, but again, it's just the final ball. That's the only thing lacking from the Whitecaps' perspective right now. Some of their forward passing has been excellent so far tonight. 3 bodies to pick out in the 18-yard box there, and failed to pick one out.
McKendry looking to play it forward. Now it's Ochoa who will have a chance to try and break back the other way. Hounded by Seiler on the sideline, who was able to force the ball out of play.
Well, you see Sammy Ochoa there initially goes to hold up play, but he waits, doesn't see anything joining in, earns his team a good throw in deep in the Whitecaps half, but just showing a little more little experience that he has.
Now Bustos with a lovely little turnaround there right at the halfway line for Brett Levi's. He'll drop off for McKendry. For Caden Chung. Chung with a nice run in the middle of the park. Bustos couldn't control that. His first touch let him down there. Ochoa trying to drop off for Pellegrino, but in to get it is Seiler, and he's forward. Positive movement as he'll find Hurtado, who's just able to keep it in play. Would have liked to have forced the keeper into a save there. Instead, it's cleared.
Yep, more of the same. We just talk about just that final pass. It's just a yard too long for Hurtado. Just trying to see if there are any other options for him. It's difficult when it's a straight run and a straight pass. Very difficult. It has to be inch perfect. But again, getting in great areas.
As that's played into the box by Haber out wide. Now at Akube. Touching that ahead. And it was McKendry looking to play it forward. Little too heavy ball, though.
Sometimes when you can get into the opponent's final third, what you overthink things. Sometimes better just to get back to base. Can I score? Where's that final ball? And really turn things very basic. Should I deliver an early cross? Instead of trying to be cute, little balls around the corner, a la Barcelona. Sometimes it's better just to simplify things. Can I score? Can I score? I think the Caps take that approach. They might be able to get a little bit more change on some of these attacks they're having.
As here's Froze forward again. Good run in. Played in by Haber. Hurtado was in the middle. Couldn't get on the end of that one.
Another great area. Just going to get my recorder out, record that statement, press rewind and play. But the Caps, that's the only part of this game the Caps will be disappointed with. They've gotten into the opponent's, not just final third, 18-yard box at will at times and periods of play. They've gotten very little out of that.
As it looks like Kyle Gregg is about to enter the match, but Roughnecks coming forward here. It's McLeod. Battle for it in the corner. McLeod tried to come away with it, takes down Adekube. And you have to imagine Vancouver will be allowed to make the substitution now, as it will be Kyle Gregg coming into the match. And for Vancouver, the captain strides onto the park, making way for Brent Levi's.
Well, he's a different type of player. Now you see that Hurtado is probably going to go out on the right-hand side, and Gregg will play as more of a classic target player. Meaning that Caps will look to get into his feet as opposed to in behind of the defense and then play from there.
As Hurtado with it out wide. Looking to take on the defender, Chinarazzo. Cross knocked away again by Anthony Peters. Hurtado back for Froze. Looking to get forward. And the ball is forced out of play. All USL matches are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. Follow the action on the USL YouTube channel. Which, of course, if you're watching us now, you are very likely doing. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, nice skill.
A little bit of skill played into the middle, and it's in the back of the net. Did Gregg get a touch on that one? He did. The Whitecaps draw level. Moments after Gregg enters the match, and it is Whitecaps FC 2-1, Tulsa Roughnecks FC.
Look at this
1.
skill by Caden Chung. Fantastic little spin. And the excellent final ball. And Kyle Gregg puts his head where it hurts, and he knows I might get a little bit of a kick here, but I'm going to put my head where it needs to be to score a goal. Fantastic intro.
His team leading 5th goal of the season. In
Look
the
at this again.
67th minute, but
Beats the first defender, gets it the second defender. Nice little bit of skill, eliminates. There's it. Chinarazzo eliminates him with a nice, again, just a beautiful bit of innovation from him. And then the final ball is perfect. He puts it in an area and asks Kyle Gregg, a tough target type player, to go and attack. Deserved equalizer as well. The Caps have played very, very well for large parts of the game. You wonder if this will give them that impetus now to go on and try and find a winner.
what does it say about the importance of Gregg to this side, though, that mere moments after he comes into the match, he makes an immediate impact.
He's been excellent for this team so far this season, and it's not just the fact that he's chipped in with all those goals. His 5th goal is an excellent return for so early in the season, but it's his leadership. When you have such a young side, when we're talking about 20 years old, the average side, or average age.
Here's a chance for Ochoa, again back the other way with his left foot, and he'll sky it over the target. Lucky for Carducci there as he came out to challenge him and maybe forced Ochoa to flick it over the bar, but that's what Sammy Ochoa can do if you give him space.
Well, you saw Sammy Ochoa's body language after that miss. He'll be absolutely gutted. Just has to help it over the goalie, and it's 2-1 again against the run of play. You'd like to think that if he was on his favored right foot, he would have notched there, but Caps get a let off.
DeVitt with a long searching ball, trying to find Greg. Instead, it comes to Chung again out wide. Back for Marco Bustos. Whitecaps striding forward. Bustos looking to play it into the area. Clear. Still danger here for Roughnecks FC. Hurtado loses possession. Quickly back to midfield is Carlos Martinez. Out of the reach of Ochoa. Carducci out to settle things down.
Very good goalkeeping again for Marco Carducci. Good starting position, good composure on his distribution.
Greg fouled.
We're talking about Greg. His leadership is excellent because they rely on it. He's an old man in this team at 26 years old. But the thing that he provides so much for, and where he's added to the Caps even in this short time he's been on the pitch, is he can occupy both center backs. He's that type of player. He's a good, strong, busy striker.
As Ochoa once again in behind DeVitt. He's going to be called for offside, though. Did get a piece of it, forced Carducci into a save, but the flag was up on the far touchline.
I tell you what, initially thinking it's offside, but it's one of those you're wondering if he just held his run enough to get in behind it, DeVitt. We'll have to watch it. Sammy Ochoa now is he's looking to play in behind both center backs. And he's getting some joy, not just with his goal. He had a fantastic opportunity a couple minutes ago.
Now Adekube will lay it off for Froze. Again for Chung out wide. He's been dangerous all night. He'll play it in again. Peters to meet it. And now a free kick against the Whitecaps. Whitecaps FC2 will be back here at Thunderbird Stadium on Sunday, May 15th, taking on LA Galaxy 2. For team news and ticket information, visit whitecapsfc2.com. Opportunities both ways. It has been an entertaining affair here. We have about 19 minutes left to go. Sam Adekube on his left foot ahead for Marco Bustos. Settle that one down. And a nice ball forward. Hurtado looking to get in behind. Once again, it's Peters rising, but plays it right to Greg. Greg on his right foot with a long strike. Wide to the target.
Clever from Greg. He expects the center back to win it. Instead of trying to go rush in behind, he just pulls off and looks for the second ball. Disappointed with his final product on the finish, but more positive work from Kyle Gregg since he's come off the bench. Be interested to see if any of the MLS staff are here to have a little look at them. Been much discussed the goal scoring woes at times of the Whitecaps to start the season at the MLS level.
As now it's Haber moving forward for Adekube. He'll play that one into the middle. No one there to greet it.
It's too bad because an excellent ball from Sam Adekube. Just whips it in behind of the Tulsa back four, but it's the problem with a target player. Once he's the player that links the attack, it's hard for him to then get on the end of the cross.
Free kick. As Tulsa will make a substitution. It's going to be Taylor Morgan entering the match, although I don't think they're going to be allowed to make that change before the free kick here, as Bustos will send it in. Rising was DeVitt. Couldn't direct that goalwards.
Unfortunate. Just gets up a little earlier. I wonder if he could have got a more clean header there. But it's interesting. Taylor Morgan, an Englishman.
Will come in for Carlos Martinez.
Spent some time with QPR and Southampton's youth team before making his way over and playing for George Mason in the NCAA. Hoping Tulsa fans will be hoping he makes an impact immediately here.
Spent some time in Scotland as well. As the goalkeeper, Jake Feener, clears that. Now booted ahead by Henry. Adekube under that. Abidor trying to play it ahead. Whitecaps cut it out, and Bustos taken down by Ochoa on the near side. Not going to draw a card from the referee, Alain Rouge. Ochoa irate at the decision nonetheless. Here's Bustos looking for Adekube. Not enough on that forward pass. And now Ochoa will play it well down the park. Carducci out to settle it down for Cole Seiler.
Looks like Alan Koch is going to make another change here.
Of course, in USL, 5 substitutions allowed as opposed to the usual 3. As Haber gets it with his right foot. Bit of a tough angle. Missed on the short side.
Great angled run from Haber right across 18. He's found. Just unable to get his shot back across goal to challenge from Tulsa netminder, but looks as though could be Tommy Gardner coming in, another young residency product for the Whitecaps.
As you have to imagine, both sides will have reason to think that the 3 points could be theirs here this evening.
You wonder if Gardner will come on for Froze or one of the... I'd like to think that McKendry would stay on his vein of form of late.
There's Pellegrino with a long attempt. Over the bar. It is going to be Gardner.
Just having a chat with them, Alan Koch now. You wonder if they're going to change their approach a little bit here. Gamble, try and get the winner. Interesting who flinches first, which manager decides to make that proactive change, try and get a win and 3 points out of this game. Now's the time. About 15 minutes left in the match.
Gardner's first start as a member of Whitecaps FC2 was the opening match of this season. Played a handful of times as a substitute last year.
Yes, I recall it vividly. Excellent for the kid. A real positive for all the residency and academy staff here at the Whitecaps to see some of their young players getting opportunities at this level.
As it is Bustos who will make way for Gardner.
Bustos can be happy with some of his work. He's gone on the ball plenty of times. Possibly only disappointed that he didn't take advantage of that one chance when a couple of his services have been a bit off. But really been busy getting on the ball, facing the defense. That's where he really thrives.
Now here's a chance for Chung. Couldn't reach that before it crossed the byline.
As I was saying, Bustos largely had a very good game. Possibly no different than the criticism of the others with that final ball, that final ruthlessness in the 18. But I'm sure he's happy, relatively happy with some of his work.
Shorter bench for Tulsa Roughnecks FC means we haven't seen quite as many changes from them. just the 2 so far as Adekube plays that in with his left foot. Feener able to snatch that.
Sam is an athlete through and through, and in that type of area, if he doesn't see an obvious ball to whip in, run at the fullback. There's not many guys in this league that can match him pace for pace and step for step. So possibly because of the 78th minute, he could be running a little low on energy, but so is the fullback for the opponent.
We have seen him create opportunities with some runs.
One thing he does, he's not bashful about getting forward, and that's been a real positive for Sam since he's been a kid. Loves to release into the attack. He has plenty to offer in that.
As Ochoa forces a corner kick here with a confident run forward.
Yeah, and again, Caps will have to be very wary of the service from Pellegrino.
As some of those big boys will step in and around the 8-yard box yet again. Ball flicked in, and it's into the back of the net. And the Roughnecks take a 2-1 lead in the 79th minute of the match.
The Caps will be absolutely gutted about that. Can't say it wasn't coming, though. We've talked about how threatening they've looked on their set pieces all night. Pellegrino puts in a beautiful ball again. And this time, they've turned down a couple gilt-edged chances to put it in the back of net. This time, they don't. Attack it. Just have a look at the replay in a second to see.
As it was Ochoa yet again getting on the end of that one.
And you watch Pellegrino's whipped in ball. And again, that's an excellent header. He starts on the near post, pulls off, and you think it's Sam DeVitt there. I could be wrong, but it looked like it. Pulls right off, starts from a very advanced position, pulls off. And that's not an easy technique. He's running away from goal, and to guide the ball back across goal shows a high level of skill. And the last guy you want to give that much space to in your own 18-yard box, whether on a set piece or not, would be him. He's looked dangerous.
His second of the match, and it puts Tulsa ahead 2-1. Now McKendry.
Space here again.
For Caden Chung on his right foot, delivering it in, and what a save right on the goal line as Ben McKendry reached that. Played it right into Feener.
Well, we've talked about ruthlessness. The cross from Caden Chung is absolutely inch perfect. He gets into look at the space he has here to deliver across. He doesn't let anybody down. He whips in a beautiful ball, and you just have to think that Ben McKendry's unsighted by the cross and the defenders in front of him, but he absolutely must score there. Any firm touch on that ball, and it's in.
Instead, it was Feener keeping it out.
Big let off for Tulsa. They got away with one there. Another good opportunity for the Caps.
As they may draw confidence from that here with just about 9 minutes remaining. As we will see another substitution momentarily for Tulsa. Christian Mata. Sam Adekube again with his left foot out of the reach of both Greg and Hurtado.
Gets to the fullback this time, gets a half yard, just needs to deliver a ball with just a bit more quality. He's trying to do the right thing, Sam Adekube, in that situation. Just his final ball lets him down.
That'll be the end of the evening for Kyle McLeod. As Christian Mata will come in.
Christian Mata. Don't call me Juan.
And we'll see a substitution for Whitecaps FC2 as well, as you see there. Fatau Safu getting ready to enter, and another player who can be a threat in the attacking third.
He really can. He got his first goal in a Whitecaps 2 uniform of recently, and he'll be looking to add to that now. He's got he's got 8 minutes and change here to do something. See if he can get an equalizer, but man, I still think back to when he was in a Portland shirt last summer. Scored an absolute 35-yard thunderbolt here at Thunderbird Stadium. Caps will be hoping for more of that.
As Caden Chung will make way, and a strong night for him. With some of the opportunities he created from the right back position. But here's Ochoa again, striding forward. Sends it out wide, then played back in, and tracking back to clear that was Seiler. Very dangerous there yet again from Tulsa.
Yeah, Morgan drove right at their back four. He's a big lad. He looks more like a center half than an attacking player, but does well to get that Cats back four.
Now Fatal looking to get in there. My mistake, it was Morgan rather than Ochoa getting forward there.
Another big body up front, Brennan.
Now it is Ochoa with it for Baloo. Atakube and Fatal there to deal with him. Now Froze for Fatal. Looking for someone to play it forward to. He finds Atakube, who will deliver it in. Hurtado looking for a default to him. Instead it comes to Haber and just wide. Not sure if that bounced off Hurtado or if it just cleanly missed the target, but it will be a goal kick.
Absolute great ball by Sam Atakube. Rolls the ball out of his feet. This time he doesn't let anybody down. And nice little skill from Eric Hurtado. Nice little layoff. Haber will be disappointed that he at least doesn't challenge Jake Feener in the Tulsa net. Those are those moments. Those are those deciding moments. And the Caps have had plenty of them tonight. They played some nice football at times. But boy, oh boy, they'll be thinking if the score doesn't change about the chances they created that they didn't cash in on.
Now here's Gardner striding forward. Can he hit it? He'll leave it for Haber. Now for Greg. Froze on his right foot and he scores. And there it is, the equalizer in the 85th minute. Keons Froze draws the Whitecaps level. It is Tulsa Roughnecks FC 2, Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2-2.
Just when you think they're overplaying in the 18-yard box again, Keons takes the bull by the horns, beats the first defender here. He's watching a little bit of skill, just dinks it over his foot and bang, scores. And you know, as he's receiving the ball there, he's thinking one thing: can I score? Nice little bit of skill to set himself up for the shot and then punishes Tulsa. Very deserved second goal from the Caps. They've created plenty of chances to get that second goal.
And it could be quite an exciting finish now.
Be interesting to see what happens now. Who's going to roll the dice and try and get the 3 points again? Caps have fought back twice now. We think that they'll be the first team now that'll have the momentum.
And it is Sam Atakube again, looking for an opportunity to deliver it in. Instead, he'll play it wide to Thomas Gardner, who draws the throw-in.
Nice little feed again from Tommy Gardner.
Fans enjoying this one. As Froze will flick that in with his right foot. Nothing doing there. Morgan looking to get under that one. Instead, Seiler will find it for Ben McKendry. Nice ball through. Fatal making the run, doesn't reach him. And again, it's cleared for Taylor Morgan. McKendry once again. Nice ball forward for Hurtado. Here he comes striding ahead for Haber in space. He'll look to play it back across the face of goal, just out of the reach of Froze. And the danger averted there for Tulsa.
Another good chance.
DeVitt to Hurtado. Leaves it for Thomas Gardner. Nicely out wide for Haber. Good little bit of skill at the top of the box. Back for Froze on his right foot.
Be disappointed with the quality of that service, but another great run. And I tell you what, they are getting in behind of the left back, Chinarazzo of Tulsa, at will now, the entire second half. They've just almost picked on him. Just getting in behind him all the time.
Check out @USL Soccer on Instagram to see match highlights and action shots from games around the USL. As now another opportunity in the middle there, and that was Greg looking for his second of the match heads it wide of goal.
Just can't get his body adjusted towards goal there. And lurking at the back post unopposed with Hurtado. If it would have beaten Greg, would have thought that Eric would have had a chance on goal. That left side is wide open for the Caps to attack. Generazzo is absolutely out of gas here.
And as the seconds continue to tick down, it is the Whitecaps that look to be the favorite to find a winning goal. Kyle Gregg. Back for Keons Froze. Gardner, middle of the park. McKendry, back to Froze. For Fatau, he's taken down. Play will continue. Haber, back for Fatau. On his left foot.
Ooh.
Just missed the post. Did beat the keeper, Feener, and another very close opportunity for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2.
Unlucky for Fatau. Does everything right here. He gets it out of his feet, and he shapes up to hit it back across goal, low as well. If it's on target, it's in. Feener's sprawling to his left. But in the end, just drags it a little bit wide. Good effort for the Caps again. And they're storming forward again, getting in behind of the Tulsa left back again.
Eric Hurtado will look to play it into the middle. Greg was there, but it's cleared. Now sent up the park, and Ochoa will make a run forward. Morgan with it as Ochoa went out wide, but possession regained by the Whitecaps. Gardner plays it back, now out wide to Fatau. He's got some space. He's got Adekube with him too. Instead, he'll play it into the middle. Touchback for Gardner. Having to deal with some heavy pressure there. Now Hurtado into the middle. Here's Haber. He's got time on his right foot, and he scores.
It was coming.
A huge late winner off the right foot of Daniel Haber just before the end of normal time. Yes, indeed, the score, Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2-3, Tulsa Roughnecks FC 2.
And it comes down the left-hand side for Tulsa and the right-hand side for the Whitecaps again. Eric Hurtado, what a wonderful, spots him. Nice clinical ball. Daniel Haber sets himself well. Again, low across goal to the back post. 3-2 Caps.
And we will have 3 added minutes here as Pellegrino comes out of the match for Mason Grimes. And 3 minutes for Tulsa to try and find a late equalizer in a entertaining affair that has gone back and forth, and the Whitecaps find themselves in front.
Well, you have to say the Caps have almost gained the 18-yard box, the Tulsa Roughnecks at will tonight. I was wondering if they'd have enough ruthlessness in them to punish the Roughnecks for their lax defending, but in the end they have. A couple great moments has put the Caps in front for the first time with about 17 seconds before the 90th minute. Alan Koch will be delighted with that finish from Haber. Absolutely clinical. He looked threatening since he's been off the bench.
Goals from Gregg and Froze this evening as well.
You gotta hand it to the two boys that have come off the bench. They're starting on the bench due to some loans down from the MLS, not because of their performances. Their performances have been excellent so far this year. They don't pout. They don't put their chins down. The minute they get their opportunity, they chip in. And it's been those 2 moments of, or 3 moments of magic, really, that have been the difference here in the second half for the Caps.
Haber's 3rd goal of the season, second only to Kyle Gregg, who's now got 5 with his tonight.
Excellent for so early in the season that you have that kind of production from a new signing. Usually it takes a little bit of time to bed into a new, moving to a new city. You're playing with a new group of players. Kyle Gregg's got off to a great start here in a Whitecap uniform. He's hit the ground running. Daniel Haber as well. It's great to see a Canadian that absolutely clinical finish there. I just saw him drag one just wide earlier when he first came off the bench. This time he puts it, nestles it perfectly in the corner.
Time running out for Tulsa. As Seiler will clear that away. Ochoa and Morgan up ahead looking for something, and Seiler with a bit of trouble there.
Rule of thumb. First rule of thumb as a center back. Do not let the ball bounce. Do not let the ball bounce. Too much indecision there, especially on a turf pitch where the ball bounces up a little bit higher. Causes all sorts of problems for himself there, Seiler. Just needs to literally, no nonsense, just attack it, clear it, and argue about any debates when the opponent's taking a throw in at half. Much more difficult to have an argument when you've given up a late equalizer in a game you should win, and as they have done.
And that will do it. Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 remain undefeated on the young season. They go atop the Western Conference table, vaulting LA Galaxy 2 into first place.
Well deserved as well. They played some really nice football at times today. The only question mark leading up to their first goal is, are they going to take one of these chances? Are they going to be ruthless enough to bury one? And they certainly were. To get 3 goals as late they did shows lots of character in a young side as well. Alan Koch will be pleased with so many aspects of the game today. One of them will be the performance of 2 guys coming off the bench, and Haber and Greg. 2 of their good performances to start the Cap season so far. Came off the bench and gave him just a little boost. He'll be absolutely delighted to have come away with 3 points on a late winner from Daniel Haber. Excellent result for the young Whitecap side.
Greg got the first goal. The floodgates opened after that. Frozen Haber following suit. As the Whitecaps go to 4 wins, no losses, and 2 draws on the season. With the 3-2 victory here tonight. Once again, we'll remind you that WFC2 are back at Thunderbird Stadium on Sunday, May 15th against LA Galaxy 2. For team news and ticket information, visit whitecapsfc2.com. The force strong with Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 as they take it 3-2 here on Star Wars night at Thunderbird Stadium.
Yeah, they'll be absolutely delighted with that. You can imagine that's one of those games where you start to question, are you going to get that goal? Is it just not our night in front of goal? But the Caps stuck with it. They kept going, kept creating chances. And it was almost like when Kyle Gregg put his head in there and got that first goal, everybody calmed down. And they started to create even better chances. And you think about Fatau dragging the ball wide. Daniel Haber started to get better and a little more confident in front of goal. Nice little bit of quality from Keans Froze to equalize it again at 2-2. Most young teams, once they would have given up the lead to an opponent twice, may have put their heads down and packed it in, but not this time. It's a young team, but it's full of character, and they have started their USL season off in great fashion.
Once again, the final score here from UBC Thunderbird Stadium. Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 3, Tulsa Roughnecks FC 2. As we'll take a look at the final match stats here momentarily as the Caps congregate on the field.
Looks like Alan Koch is doing his team talk out there. No doubt congratulating his boys.
More offense on target, more offense in general from Vancouver, as we talked about.
Yep, it was exactly as it played out in the first half. The only difference was the Caps were able to punish them, Tulsa, for their chances created. And you look at the shots, 13. If you think about how many opportunities didn't hit the target.
And we'll take a look at our highlights from tonight.
Wow.
And Caden Chung.
Look at this skill here. You know, if you needed a moment, just one brave attack there from Kyle Gregg. But what a great moment of skill from Caden Chung, the young man.
Leveling the match at 1 at the time.
And it just, everybody took a big sigh of relief and then started gaining confidence from there. And it's just a great little moment from Caden Chung on the service. It's just inviting Kyle Gregg to go ahead in the net.
Bustos taken down there by Ochoa.
Ochoa is not bashful, that's for sure.
It was the Roughnecks regaining the lead, though, in the second half. Pellegrino, we talked about his service all night. And
that's a great header for Sammy Ochoa. running away from goal to then guide it, have the strength to guide it back towards the far post is excellently executed header. And it was coming on their set piece. They were creating lots of chances.
Whitecaps nearly drew level. McKendry played it right into the breadbasket of Feener on the goal line.
It was that moment where you thought, is this going to be the Caps' night?
And this is the moment where you thought it could be. As Gardner, Gregg, and Froze combined to pull the Caps back level at 2-all.
Great little skill by Froze. Took a nice little helpful deflection for him.
And this was the moment that Caps fans will remember. Hurtado back to Haber into the back of goal, 3-2, just before the end of normal time.
Comes in behind of the Tulsa left back, Cherazino. And Hurtado's set of the table for Haber. Haber's perfect. Haber shapes up as though he's going to hit it towards the near post. Instead, he guides it towards the far post. Low and across goal, again, perfectly executed. And a deserving win by a young Whitecaps team.
Once again, the final score was Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2-3, Tulsa Roughnecks FC 2. Up next, it will be the LA Galaxy 2 side here for Whitecaps FC 2 at Thunderbird Stadium, Sunday, May 15th, 2 p.m. Go to whitecapsfc2.com for ticket information. For Mark Rogers, I'm Brendan Batchelor. Thanks so much for joining us here this evening. And once again, good night from UBC Thunderbird Stadium and David Sidhu Field.